Hi everyone, Linda Israel here, and I have created a card for the 52 Christmas Card Throwdown Challenge. This week's challenge was to use embossing. You could use embossing powder, it could be embossing the paper with an embossing folder, or maybe using a stencil, or maybe even just hand embossing it. With my project today, I use a little bit of both embossing the paper with powder as well as using a paper folder to emboss it. This is the card that I made today. You can see it has lots of texture on it. Come along and watch this video and see how I made the card. Make sure that you stay to the end, and of course give this video a thumbs up and share with your friends. Subscribe if you aren't subscribing already, and make sure that you go to the 52 Christmas Card Throwdown and check out all the other beautiful cards that the other artists are making. Come along, let's make this card. Today I'm making the Christmas card for the 52 Christmas Card Throwdown. This theme for this challenge is embossing. They said embossing powder or embossing folders. So to begin with, I have my Tim Holtz machine. We're going to open him up and do some die cutting and embossing. I have a piece of red that's already cut to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and it's actually just a smidge smaller. And I have this holly leaf by Paper Studios. Just place this inside here. There's the embossed card. I really like my Tim Holtz machine because I don't have to crank anymore. I have a Sizzix label die by Top Note. It's by Stampin' Up. So it's the note card. Lay my white cardstock on there. I want to emboss this image, and I have a Cuttlebug snowflakes. But wait, before I do that, I want the embossing to have embossing powder on it. So I have a Versamark, and what I'm going to do is use my ink pad directly on So I'm just getting those raised areas. And if it does more than that, it's okay. So I've done the raised areas. Put my card in there. Hold it down. Sandwich. Take this out of the folder. This is the side that has the embossing ink on it. Have some embossing powder by Ranger. It's a holographic. It's nice and coated. Return the extra back to the container. And we will heat emboss. Set that aside. Going back to the piece that I embossed with the holly leaves, I'm looking at it and it looks like I need to trim it just a little bit. I have a corner rounder by Crocodile, the Copper Chopper We Are Memories Keeper, and we use that to round the corners. I have some green acrylic paint, and what I want to do is on the holly leaves, I want to paint just around the edge green because I'm going to layer this over the top of it. So I want to paint the holly leaves around the edge green. Just using a regular paintbrush. Looks like I got most of the green that I want. I have some stickles from Rangers in burgundy, and what I want to do with this is put dots of glitter on the little holly berries. Stickles take a little bit of time to dry, so I'm going to set those aside so they can dry, and I'll come back to that. I have a 2.5 by 3.5 inch piece of blue cardstock, and I have my Merry Christmas and a snowflake, as well as the Versamark. Here's my Merry Christmas. And I have some silver embossing powder. I'll zoom out so you can see a little better. Now, before I do embossing, I like to use an anti-static bag. This is my anti-static bag, which is talcum powder inside several layers of old, clean pantyhose. I did a video, I don't know if I did a video tutorial or if I just did a tutorial on my website. I tap off the excess powder, and then I'm going to ink up my stamps. This is going to do the Merry Christmas stamp first. And then the snowflake. I like to keep my embossing powder when I have a lot of it in a tub, because then all I have to do is sprinkle it over my project and close the lid. I don't have to try to fight to put it back in the container. So if I end up buying a big quantity of embossing powder like silver and black and clear, I put it in something like this. I want to use my corner rounder and round the corners of this one, so I'm using the same corner rounder. I also want to have silver embossing around the edge, so I'm going to take my Versamark pad and just run it along the edge of my card. I'll do 2 sides at a time. Then I will dip it into my embossing powder and tap off any extra, and then heat emboss. I take a dry towel, paper towel, soft cloth, and then just rub the image, and that will remove the anti-static, or in my case, talcum powder, so you won't have that chalky look anymore. Now this is the perfect size for an artist trading card. So just with those 2 stamps and going around the edge with the embossing powder, you have a really cute little ATC, or punch a hole in it, and this could be a gift tag. You can put the to and from on the back. Just use a gel pen in a silver or white, and you can use that as a gift tag. But we're not done yet. We're going back to the embossed with 2 different types of embossing. It has the embossed in the paper by pushing it into shape, and then with embossing powder. I have a Distressed Ink Pad Mini from Tim Holtz, and it is the chipped sapphire. And I have one of the old blending tools. I'm going to blend around the edge. Alright, if your pad gets covered in glitter like mine has, I just take a baby wipe and wipe it off. And that pretty much gets rid of the majority of the glitter. I have a pre-cut A2 card, and I want to go around the edge of it with the distressed ink as well. Some adhesive dots from Studio G. Put some on the back of this top part. I have these little snowflake shaped rhinestones, and I think those would look cute on here. So I just have some simple adhesive and a pair of tweezers. Let those dry and I'll be back. All the components are dry and it's time to assemble the card. I'm going to use just plain white glue on the back of the red holly patterned piece. And that is my finished card for the 52 Christmas Card Throwdown Challenge embossing. So I used embossing powder on the snowflake and the Merry Merry Christmas. I used an embossing folder on the label, as well as using embossing powder here. And I used another embossing folder for the holly leaves, filled in with paint and some distressing stickles, added some snowflake bling. I think this turned out pretty cute. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and of course if you have questions or you just want to tell me what you thought of the card, please comment below. You can find me on social media at Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. My links are in the More section, so make sure you go down there, as well as links to Brutus Monroe as I use some of their products. I'm on their design team. And of course the link to the 52 card Christmas challenge and my website for my blog, that I'll have some list of the supplies that I used here today. Thank you for watching today. Have a wonderful day and create your own ending.